Hey, thanks for checking out the Crispy Marshwiggle. Every Friday, we release a new mini essay with thoughts on everyday life and wonder in the world God has made. If you would like to see these words in front of you and read them for yourself, you can visit my Substack and subscribe for free. And now, please silence your cell phones. Today's essay is about to begin. Belly buttons. Considerations on a beloved body part. For children of a certain age, let's say 3 to 6, there are few topics of conversation more delightful than belly buttons. They never fail to produce a girly giggle or a boyish snort. One can always be reminded about them simply by looking down. They're extremely common, one per person, yet distinct. Even the most sophisticated adult is forced to admit when considering the facts in a fair-minded way that the belly button truly has a fantastical appearance. Some resemble a black hole that looks as if it could be miles deep when viewed from afar. The only responsible thing to do is to verify depth with a probing finger when possible. Unfortunately, civilization has made this exploration impossible in almost all situations. The black hole variety isn't even the most fascinating type. Other belly buttons are best described as a humorous outcropping, not unlike a human tree knot. But these analogies are weak and futile. The reality is that the belly button is not like anything else on Earth. You could scale the highest peaks and sound the deepest of depths, and you will never discover its twin. Yet you will find one on every person that you meet. This fact creates universal common ground. When other conversation starters fail to cross the divides of interests and background, there's one that is sure to succeed. Kids know this better than anyone. They reach for the talking point that builds a bridge almost automatically. Eyes light up with recognition, fingers point with glee, and laughter, another thing that is found everywhere that the crown of God's creation dwells, rings out like a merry bell. The belly button is also the most interesting body part that can be discussed openly in any context. It walks marvelously the line between excitement and contraband. Little people grow weary of heads, shoulders, knees, and toes. They desire something more thrilling. Other candidates, such as the uvula or the Adam's apple, don't have the same broad appeal. The pancreas still languishes in obscurity. The belly button fits the bill in every way. Finally, the belly button has a captivating origin story. It literally comes from when you were tied to your mother with a rope. This is magnificent. You have a last remnant of your first day out of the womb that shows that you came from another human being. It ought to be cherished as a memento, a keepsake you could never take off and should never want to. Children don't know all the science behind the belly button. They've not been to the outer reaches of the earth to plumb the depths of its uniqueness. But what they can do, as well as anyone, is recognize a fine piece of God's handiwork when they see it. It's obvious to them that the belly button should be applauded, laughed at, and delighted in. Is it obvious to you? You may be one of the stodgiest people in the world, almost immune to the jokes and rapture of little children. But I dare you to take a moment of your valuable time and consider, is there anything quite like a belly button? Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, or if you thought it was one of the craziest things ever, please share it with a friend. You can also follow me on Instagram and X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Take some time to wonder at God's world, and we will see you next Friday for another edition of the Crispy Marshwiggle.